the top of Anderson.
get over
Tracks all the way
Anderson.
back in.
It
Does.
is.
And he's locked in. What a goal!
Welcome everybody. This is Will G and Rachel G, and we're covering the second round of the. Is this the third test now? It is, isn't it?
This is the test on day 4 of the Trans-Tasman. So we are currently watching Ellie and Helen playing Alison and Judy.
So Alison and Judy are for Australia, right? And Ellie and Helen are for New Zealand. And this round is entirely same-sex same-sex doubles. So it's a theme that's been recurrent in the Trans-Tasman, that there's been a lot of emphasis on doubles. And this morning, I think honours were shared in the mixed doubles. Is that right?
Honours were shared, yeah, 2 apiece. So that was the score currently. Test 3, 2 apiece. The Australians took a bit of a beating in the first round of the singles this morning, with the Kiwis picking up all the first round, first games in each of the matches.
First round of the doubles, you mean?
First round, yes, in doubles, thank you. But managed to level it off at two matches apiece, which is a good comeback.
Yeah, good recovery.
So we're joining this match. We're currently 1-0 to New Zealand.
And this should be a really good game, actually. I think this is this a stronger, I can't remember which pairings this is. Is this a stronger of each pairing?
I'd expect so. I think Ellie and Helen were 2 of the more highly ranked New Zealand ladies in their playing order.
I think Ellie's number 1, and I think Alison's number 1 for the Aussies.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the Kiwis have won the toss, gone first, and have taken an advantage already at hoop 1. And they've not quite capitalised on their position at hoop 2.
I think that blue ball might be wide.
Sorry?
I think that blue ball might be wide from yellow though, so
yeah,
useful rejection there.
That's a bit of a fortunate rejection. I'm not too sure how easy blue is to run, but yeah, definitely it's a lot better than being wide open.
Okay, so nice middle pace clearance from Alison, but just missed black there. So Ellie to run hoop 2 for a 2-0 lead to New Zealand.
So I think someone was saying earlier that Ellie has won the Women's Championship in New Zealand twice already. Is that right?
Yeah, and I think she's only 16.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
so she's coming over to play Nottingham for the Under-21 Worlds in July. Oh, another rejection there. But she's hung around.
Yeah, and with red a long way away, black and blue near the hoop. If yellow centre ball's black here, blue's got decisions to make, hasn't it?
Yeah, so I think yellow wants to. I'd say yellow wants to try and come off a little bit to the side, so it ends up straight in front. But
yeah, absolutely.
Depends what Alison's. Judy's jump shot is like.
Well, I think yellow needs to get rid of black, and I think it needs to be threatening the hoop position. Ideally, it wants to be within hoop running range, but not so close that blue can just stop shot yellow away. And it needs to force blue to go for an awkward jump. Oh.
Wrong side, I think there.
Yeah. And that's a bit of a let-off because the pressure's not so much on blue now. Blue can jaws with no danger of being jumped by yellow at all.
No, and I think there's no real pressure to get this much better than just sitting in the hoop.
Yeah, you're right. If yellow was much closer, then I think jaws would be necessary because otherwise it'd be quite easy to remove. But yeah, and I think
that's what she's gone for rather than trying to get well embedded in the hoop. Bit tricky with these hoops at that angle, that sort of angle.
Yeah, and the Kiwis have got a firm advantage now at hoop 2. Alison's just presumably playing back now.
Is she playing back to halfway or is she playing back to hoop 2?
It looks like she's playing back to hoop 2.
It looks like she might be behind hoop 2. Oh no, just past.
Just past.
Dangerously close to blue.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I actually like the position of red. I think it's too easy for blue to block its approach to hoop 3.
I think if red was nearer to the hoop, then yeah, blue blocking red's approach to 3 would be a real danger. I think red's just strayed far enough away from the hoop that if blue does run by small distance, red can sort of work an angle around. Red might end up being a bit deeper at 3 than Alison would have otherwise liked, but I don't think she'll have nothing.
No, I think she'll definitely be able to generate a hoop shot out of it.
Question is now,
what does
can
yellow
Judy do something about blue?
Depends how much of it she's got. I mean, the angle looks okay.
I mean, if you hit the left-hand side of blue as Judy looks at it, you might be able to spring blue out of that hoop. But if you hit the right-hand side, it's a rush peel.
It'll be interesting to see what she goes for. I think if the ball's reversed here, I think Alison would be going for the clearance on blue, but I'm not sure what Judy's preference will be. It looks like she's lining up for the clearance.
I think this is a bit risky, because I think even if you get the blue, you're still well behind in the hoop, and the rush peel's very bad.
Oh, good shot.
Nice shot,
But
but I
it's
don't
not
know how
moved it
much it
far
changes.
enough. No, she's still got to run it though.
That's true.
So Helen to run this for a 2-0 lead in this women's doubles. And through it goes.
Gets it.
So 2-0 to New Zealand.
Ooh, what do you reckon to where blues ended up? Do you reckon that's a bit close to yellow?
Maybe a little, but I think it's unlikely that yellow's going to try and hamper blue, unless red is really good.
If red is really good, I think it might be worth going for that hamper. Because Australia need 2 hoops in a row now. And,
That's
that's
a little short, I think, to want to be looking at playing this. I think red will... Oh, they're going to go and have a look at it. That's nice. I do like that. I'm going to go and have a look at that. Check on the angle on red.
Yeah, it's quite tempting sometimes to be, for want of a better word, lazy and just not go check. And sometimes stuff that looks dreadful a long way away is actually really playable once you get there.
That looks like it's going quite tight to the hoop. I think I might have gone a little bit deeper than that.
Yeah, I think what you want to avoid there is you want to avoid red just stop shotting black. Because I think in that position, red can stop shot black to corner.
Yeah, pretty near the corner. Come out a little bit. Yeah, I think, and that the corner's got the maximum distance on that clearance.
I mean, if Ellie's comfortable with taking that 7-yarder and clearing.
Well, it's 9. It's 8 or 9 from the corner rather than 7. But yeah.
Yeah. But if Ellie's comfortable with clearing yellow from the corner a long way and letting
that's short as well. At least black was in front.
Yeah. So what do you reckon now? You could go all out and just do the clearance anyway and try and let black run, but I don't think that's necessary. What do you reckon?
I don't like that clearance, especially because it's Alison that's playing red as well. So I think...
But I think both Alison and Judy have been quite solid at clearing and just solid in general, haven't they? So I don't know how much difference... I mean, I've not been paying too much attention. I've not had a chance to watch too much of their play, but so I don't think there's as much difference between Alison and Judy as we've seen between other doubles partners in terms of style of play this weekend.
No, we've not really had the opportunity to watch much of them, have we? Because we've been commentating quite a lot of the games, and this is the first time that they're appearing for us on Lawn 2. But I think Alison is a very good shooter, and from what I've seen of Judy, she's had some excellent positional play. Have been the main characteristics that I've noticed from each of them. But I guess we'll see during the rest of the game.
Well, potentially they could complement each other's play very well then. But a bit of discussion.
I think I'd just be trying to put blue in position here, not too close to red or yellow.
Yeah.
But I mean.
But this looks like it's going kind of tight, actually. I think I'll be going a bit deeper than black here.
Yeah, but we've not seen very many long hoops run.
That's true. Wherever blue goes,
particularly by the women.
Wherever blue goes, Helen has to be willing to take that hoop shot on. And if she goes very deep, then she'll definitely get a hoop shot. But if you don't like the 7-yarder, then what's the point in setting up? So maybe blue is better.
Yeah, lovely.
But that's a very nice stop shot. Prioritising the position of red over maximum distance of black, and I like that in this situation.
I do. There's no reason to put the maximum distance on black because yellow's not running, and to be honest, it's very unlikely that black is going to be going for the hoop or going for yellow here. So why bother? Yeah.
I think losing red to the boundary and taking the pressure off black to do anything really is just not worth it. Yellow's in a bit of an interesting spot.
Yeah, I think
she can't do too much about blue. And for that reason, I think black was right to just come in.
No, that's an interesting spot. I think black might be quite close to blocking that blue line. I think yellow might have the option of stop shotting black here and being able to remain on blue's line.
Looking at this angle, looking at this camera angle now, it looks like black's just plumb on the blue line.
Yeah.
And again, that takes pressure off because. So what you reckon? Stop shot black and try to take its position. Or what about just
playing really tight in front of black? Looks good if Ali's happy with the clearance red on black.
Yeah, block black's hoop run, and instead doing also double block blue's hoop run. Blue will clear red, but then if red's happy turning around and clearing back.
So I think that was one of the key characteristics of the game. Some of the games that we've seen over the past few days, was been that characteristic ball in and then taking on your 7-yard clearance for the second ball. That doesn't look like the option they've gone for here. I think that's probably something that we'll see that they're not necessarily going to be looking for in
Yeah, and I'm not sure that's worked out how
Well,
Judy would have
no.
liked, because now Blue's got that hoop shot there.
Well, the question is, are they going to take the hoop shot, or are they going to take the stop shot clearance on red? I think this will be a very interesting decision, which will probably dictate the style that that looks like they're going to take for the rest of the game.
I mean, the two sets of players are still getting to know each other's play styles, and I think what Blue does here will be an interesting indicator of what we can expect. I think on balance, Blue's hoop shot is good enough that it should be taken now.
And red isn't a gimme. I mean, it's straight.
Red's not a gimme, yellow's not a gimme. Overall, they're probably behind in this hoop, I'd say. I'd say blue and black are behind. The one advantage they've got is that they've got the first hoop shot. And also, 2-0 up, you've got the luxury of taking a couple of risks. And yeah, it's good, yeah.
Looks like she's going for the hoop. Good.
Yeah, I'm happy to see Helen taking this shot on, because I think it's a right choice.
Oh, you can really see the wind there flapping on her trousers, can't you?
And that's a good shot.
Nice hoop shot.
That's a good shot. I mean,
she'll be happy that it's run, but
yeah.
it's not really gone as far as she probably would have liked. But it shouldn't be hampered for the next hoop, so she should be able to get a mallet down on that to get it down to hoop 4.
At 2-0 down, you want... Ooh, that's careless. Addison.
Yeah, I think really probably should have gone a little bit left. But we did see a bit of some hills there yesterday. I think it was probably just a little bit too close anyway.
So Helen Rees and Ellie Ross have taken a 3-0 advantage for New Zealand. And I was just about to say, actually, at 2-0 down, you want Blue to go a long way through. But at 2-0 up, you just want the 3-0 advantage, and it's okay to exchange hoops. But actually, they've got the advantage at hoop 4 anyway now.
Yeah, they've gained that because of the line that red was on.
Yeah, red had a bit of an awkward line, and potentially Anderson was trying to play quite close to the hoop to try to maximise red's position at the end, and maybe it just strayed into blue.
Perhaps would have liked yellow a little bit nearer to the hoop there, but I think it's still okay. It's probably being cleared to the boundary though, isn't it? Then I think we want blue quite nice and tight here.
Blue needs to have a nice hoop shot after this.
That looks like it might be a little bit short. It's in front.
That's a bit short.
It's a bit short.
It's not reached the blocking line, so
no. So it's probably 3 yards back, maybe a little further.
I don't think it's any harder than the previous hoop she's just run though. So I think she'll be backing herself to. I mean, she'll be a bit disappointed that that's not nearer, I think. But I think she'll be backing herself on that.
But putting no pressure on with that shot, which means that Alison can just try and play nice and tight in front. Oh, and that looks like it's.
She needed that to hill the other way, and in fact, it's got sucked to her left. And red's not very useful there at all, I feel.
I'm not sure.
We're clearing. Yeah. I think clearing is the right decision here.
I think it depends on the play style. I think there's quite a few players that would just be putting a ball in here, but
no, I like this play by Ellie there. It's not too far a clearance. Okay, granted, you're only going to be clearing yellow 7 meters, so if Judy really wants to, she'll probably be able to clear blue here. But
she's not. She's just putting a ball in.
I'm not sure. I think ideally you want blue not there. As in, I think the ideal shot here would be to hit blue only a few meters away and just take away the option of going for the hoop, because
I think especially with black still being so close to the hoop. Oh, that's just a little bit too far.
Because I think unless yellow gets an exceptional block, and it really would have to be exceptional if you're going that tight to the hoop.
We're talking about sort of a 6-inch range, really, aren't we, along a line?
I think blue is just going for that hoop.
Yeah, I mean, and now blue's basically got a free hoop shot. Yeah.
And for 4-0 down, that's a big mountain to climb if you're looking to get back into this game as the Aussies. Yeah.
Nice hoop.
Another nice hoop by Helen, and yeah, the
Helen's
Kiwis
run out of clips.
the Kiwis have taken a commanding lead here already. 4-0 down. I mean, we say things can swing around the middle because clearance distance has become less, and hoop to hoop distance has become less. Yeah, and if Anderson and Judy are going to get back into the game, that's a really good start from red, I think.
Yeah, but they need to have some hoop shots to get back into this game.
Yeah. Although, to be honest, their problem at 3 and their problem at 4 was that they weren't in front of the hoop.
No.
We didn't quite manage to tune in at hoop 1, and we don't quite know how hoop 2 started out. But it seemed like they weren't in front of the hoop at 2 either, so maybe taking position has been the problem here.
Yeah, and I think if you are starting to take position, trying to get tight, and you're not getting that ball in front, you need to go further back.
Yeah.
And prioritise giving yourself a hoop shot.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've seen a couple of good hoops run by Helen, so the hoops probably, you know, we saw quite a lot of really good hoops run yesterday. The hoops are runnable here.
Yeah. But Ellie's black strayed a little far past.
That's a long way past, isn't it?
And
so I think I'd be looking at the block here, blue on red.
Yeah.
But not too close to red.
What you want to avoid is
I like about
yeah,
there.
I think that's a good spot. You want to avoid the possibility, however low, of a double clearance, and also you don't want to force Helen into going for the hoop. I think maybe actually you want to prioritise blocking the hoop here. But that looks
because black's out of position.
I think with black out of position, the Aussies have got a firm advantage at hoop 5. That actually looks like a very good block on red, right?
I mean, it looks like the angle. There's probably a spot maybe a little bit further out where you can cover both or half of both.
Yeah. There's not too many options left available to the Kiwis to win this hoop.
So then go for the hoop if they can see it.
Yeah, I don't think just putting a ball in and hoping Alison doesn't make the hoop. I don't think that's a viable strategy here. You've got to be expecting Alison to run this hoop. The only other thing to think about is whether you want to stop them jawsing to run up to 6. But again, I think Alison will just run this hoop. So, hoop shot, right?
I think so. If you can see it and you can't see red, which is what she's gone for, and that's an excellent result.
Well, it's an excellent try.
I think that's an excellent result.
I think red can see the hoop still.
It can, but in terms of hoop projections.
Well, you say that, but if you're for hoop 5, oh, brilliant! There's an instant replay, and we can see just hits the right-hand wire.
A little bit unfortunate to get that bit of roll over to the left, really.
Because I think now that she's hampered. Well, Alison will be disappointed with that. So it's 4-1 to the Aussies. Sorry, 4-1 to the Kiwis. But really, when you're 4-1 down, you need that red to go further up the lawn. And with blue and red tied up, if Ellie gets position at 6 here...
But she hasn't.
Well, that held. That held, and actually, with both balls tied up, maybe now...
But look at the distance again. That's you look at the distance on that. That was going really tight to the hoop. I think a little bit further back would have...
No, I think when balls are tied up like this, going tight is a good shout. If you go too far back, there's a temptation from Judy just to go tight to the hoop and let you have your long hoop run.
Long hoop run being 2 to 3 yards here, not.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
It's not that long.
Yeah. And maybe Judy was anticipating the hill there, but just didn't get one because that stayed right. It went right and stayed right.
Now just blue needs to go where it can get down the lawn a bit.
Yeah. Helen's a little bit unfortunate here because we saw black hill left, and blue's already going to go to the left of the hoop, and it's going to hill even more to the left.
Yeah, there's no way this is going to be in position unless she goes really deep.
Yeah. Maybe going deep is a way here actually, but this is why I was saying blue was a bit unfortunate to get rejected to exactly where she is. But yeah, by holding deep, despite no, that's actually I don't think she's quite got a hoop shot there, right?
No, it looks like it's definitely got a good chance of getting in the jaws though, assuming it doesn't hill. So what's Alison's got on red? What has Alison got on red?
She can get him out to this, right?
Yeah, it looks like it. I think she's just going a little bit to the right of the peg.
Yeah, I think this doesn't want to go much further than the peg.
Oh, she's gone quite right to the peg there.
And I don't think she wanted to be that close to the hoop.
No, she's going... It's too close. Why are you trying to get so close to the hoop there? I think 2 yards back is fine.
I mean, I was thinking go basically level with the peg here. That was my first thought.
I think that's too deep. There's no reason to go that deep. I don't think there's no way that ball's going to be there. They're going to look at even clearing that ball here if it's peg high. I think you need to be closer than that to give them a bit of a tempter about whether or not they want to clear it.
I mean, from my perspective, yellow's controlling the area tight to the hoop, and if red goes peg area, then red's controlling the deep portion of the hoop. Black goes somewhere in position, and yellow stop shots it or goes tight.
Yeah, but I think
I suppose it hinges.
You're looking at your game. That's not the game that's being played on the screen in front of us.
Thank you, dear. I suppose that strategy hinges on if red's left that, what is it, 7 yards from the peg to hoop 6?
Yeah.
Yeah, if red's left that 7-yarder hoop shot and there's not much else on, you're having it.
I think that needs to be a little bit closer. That looks like it's yellow's hung around. Perhaps a little bit more stop would have
I think I would have taken black there, don't
been
you?
better. Depends on the angle of blue, really. We're a little bit too far away to tell that. But
I think you earn more by taking black out there, so long as blue just doesn't run the hoop there and then.
yeah, but they are 4-1 down, and they have lost out on 2 hoops by blue taking on a hoop shot that they perhaps might not have thought they would.
That is true.
And playing a nice shot to get it through. That looks like it's a really nice position. Is it blocking red on black though?
Well, did you see as that came through, blue seemed to nudge into black, so black might have a slightly better shot than it did before.
Yep, so Alison taking black here, so she'll be wanting to stop dead on this.
And actually, blue's position is excellent because look at the distance between yellow and blue.
That's a really nice clearance with red.
That is good.
She's not got any big distance on black. She doesn't need it, and she's been prioritising getting the stuff on red.
I quite like blue's position here, though. Blue's got a hoop shot, fair distance between yellow and the blue, and as soon as yellow hits
that's
blue,
held as well. I think that's
has that held into blocking position.
I think that's going too tight again. I'm happy just putting a ball in front here.
So they're having a think. Is this blocked?
It might be.
Because I think if it's not blocked, it's straightforward, right?
Yeah,
yellow clears blue.
Yeah.
You can't leave blue there.
And blue doesn't need to go very far.
If it is blocked, I can't think of an immediate solution. Can you?
Go for the hoop. It's a bit
With
nasty.
yellow, I don't think that's anything.
But it's got to be black onto blue then, hasn't it?
Black onto blue at this distance, that's
Well,
nightmare shot.
Yeah, but what I mean,
going halfway when you're 4-1 down doesn't seem at all appealing. But maybe just taking. I mean, if it is blocked, maybe just taking position and hoping blue doesn't run the hoop.
this
looks like a jump clearance, right?
Yeah. Yes. I guess the question is whether or not black's in Judy's bounce spot or not.
She's not hitting down.
That looked like it went to the right of black.
Maybe it was a fraction of a ball.
Yeah, maybe.
But again, commanding position for the Kiwis.
Yeah, this
Hoop
probably only
6.
needs to be in the draws.
We've not. I mean, it was interesting because yesterday talking to Ed Wilson, he was saying that these Atkins hoops, it's better from these angles to hit it hard, and he reckons especially on these lawns you don't want to be tapping into these.
How many nice rejections has Ed had to the other side of the lawn doing that?
Well, I mean, yeah, but the counter is how many nice hoop runs has he had?
Yeah. But that I was going to say I don't think that's a shot that we would see.
No, in the UK, you'd almost always go gentle there, because also if that blue had held onto the wire trying to do that jaws, it's also a nightmare situation.
Yeah, I think so. I think that blue is actually far enough out of that hoop that red can get it out.
But if it gets it out, doesn't red disappear? Red needs to hang around in order for the Aussies to have any chance in this hoop.
No, I mean, all you need to do is that you need to hit your 15 on clearance with yellow to get you back into this hoop.
I don't know. I don't see when red and yellow are getting another ball in front of this hoop. I think there's a lot of shots down the line.
I think it's unlikely that Alison will be going for the jump. Is this a clearance on black or is this trying to get blue out?
It's a clearance on black.
And it looks like she's going a little bit off towards one back.
Can yellow do something about blue? Yellow's all the way in corner 3. I'm not even sure it's a good idea to try to do something about blue with yellow.
Are you going to lose your ball to the far side of the lawn, aren't you? So this looks like it's just going to be black in front.
Yeah, black in front, I like that. Just make sure of hoop 6 first and foremost. Don't.
I mean, going 5-1 up's massive.
Yeah.
Ooh, a little bit far again.
A little bit far. Maybe at the back of her mind she's thinking this hoop's already run and not giving that enough attention as she would have liked.
It's still much better there than a few other places on the lawn though, isn't it?
Yeah. But it looks like this is a clearance. She's watching it.
Ooh, that looked like it went pretty close to the hoop.
But now yellow's offside. will be approaching from a long way away. I suppose red is first to approach, isn't she?
Yeah, and I guess we'll see whether they choose to take on the clearance with black and the clearance with blue, with red's position. So I think.
Well, also with yellow's position, because yellow's not guaranteed to get good position in front of the hoop, coming all the way from the offside spot.
No, they can probably afford the luxury of clearing with both balls here. But there is a bit of a hit. It does run downhill in front of this hoop. We've seen from a couple of the other streams, haven't we? So we've lost quite a few balls to quite a wide position here. So we'll see where Alison ends up. That looks good, but she's gone very tight again.
Having said that,
but it's
that's
nice
very
position,
good position.
Nice position.
Right now, the Aussies, what they need is 2 hoops in a row.
Yeah.
Exchanging hoops is going to mean that they lose 7-3. They need to get 5-3.
They need to get the scoreline to
5-all.
5-3, don't they?
Yeah. 5-all or 6-4 is really the minimum they need here. 6-4.
So we're taking 2 shots at this by the look of it.
Yeah. And in order to get 2 in a row, Alison needs to run 7, but she needs to run it far enough down to 8 to have a head start at 8.
She needs to run peg high or better, doesn't she? Don't want us to give that.
And so I think tight position is required for that. But yeah, 2 shots here.
I think they can afford to, and with red that good. Oof.
Yeah.
A little bit on the left, I think, there.
You can't afford to leave red there. Losing hoop 7, it doesn't matter too much to the Kiwis. It's just if they lose hoop 7 and 8 that they need to begin worrying again.
I think it looks like red's maybe 1 foot, maybe 2 feet in front of.
Yeah, it's certainly close enough that Alison should be looking for more than just running the hoop.